going on, everyone? This is Todd Chick coming at you again with another episode of Living Your Best Life. And I want to say thank you so much for giving us some of your time today. So, of course, you know what we do on our show. We invite a professional onto the show to talk about what they do and how what they do is contributing to a healthier society or better society altogether. So we're not going to stop today. We're going to bring you the jewels. So today, of course, we have a guest on. Her name is Annette Nichols. She's out of the Winston-Salem, North Carolina area, right? Not too far from me, actually, as a matter of fact. And she's going to be talking about diabetes. Now, of course, we've had this conversation before, but it's always important to hear different perspectives. And today she's going to be speaking specifically about a really cool app that she's come up with to help people with diabetes to gauge, their progress throughout the day. So please check her out, okay? Check her out, listen to the episode, because if you do know someone with diabetes or if you're suffering from diabetes, you're going to benefit from today's information. So, of course, before we get on to the show, I've got my commercial and my product that I'm standing behind. And today is the TLS Weight Management System, which is perfect for the person that's possibly dealing with diabetes because it is based on a glycemic approach to weight management. Okay, we're talking about real food here. Alrighty, so listen, as always, you get 15% off on the product and also on the coaching, okay, that you get with the program. All right, so check it out and I'll see you on the other side of the commercial. Alrighty, so everyone, coming up today, diabetes, the conversation with Annette Nichols.
TLS Weight Loss Solution, and congratulations on making the decision to review and learn the correct way to rebalance and improve your metabolism, lose weight, fat, inches, and keep it off once and for all. Chances are this is not the first time you have tried a program to help you reach your weight loss goals. You probably have done different types of diet programs before and succeeded. However, the bigger issue is why you were unable to keep the weight off. The simple answer is diets don't work. TLS Weight Loss Solution is a comprehensive, customizable program that is designed to fit your personality, commitment level, your body's personal needs, and your budget. If you are looking for a quick fix that will help you lose weight just to gain it back, then TLS isn't for you. TLS is the last program you will ever need because it isn't a diet, but a lifestyle. TLS focuses on eating real foods that are delicious and nutritious. TLS doesn't restrict food groups, count calories, or force you to do strenuous amounts of exercise to reach your goals. You will find you lose more when you eat more, which is why TLS focuses on eating real food often. Other weight loss programs help you lose weight, which could be just from loss of water and muscle, while TLS focuses on fat loss. Losing fat ensures it stays off for good.
And welcome back, everybody. And like I said, thank you so much for hanging out. And like the commercial said, listen, take me up on it all for 15% off on the coaching and the TLS weight management system. So please check it out. Alrighty. So, of course, we have an awesome, phenomenal woman on the show this afternoon. Actually, we're going to be talking about something that is so prevalent in our culture, in our society, and that is diabetes. And so even though there's been a lot of this, we've had the conversations before about diabetes, but I think it's so important that we hear it in different approaches or different perspectives on what people are doing to help people with diabetes. And so, of course, we're out here, we're bringing people to the table here, and they're out there in the trenches and doing what they do. So this afternoon, everybody, we have an awesome lady on, Miss Annette Nichols, and she's going to be talking about her approach to helping people with diabetes. So, Annette, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Thank you so much for having me with you today. It's really an awesome occasion to be able to come and just tell people my story and what I have to offer.
Awesome. So you're located where? You're in the...
I am in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Awesome. So that's not too far away from me. I'm in Greensboro. If people don't know, where we are. So we're in North Carolina. So she's about maybe 30 minutes or so away from me. And I connected with her on, of course, LinkedIn. I was reading her profile and her approach. And I definitely wanted to have her on to the show to talk about her journey and her whole thing. And so, Annette, so if you don't mind, just kind of like telling us a little bit about yourself and, what moved you to become an educator around this, the issue of diabetes.
Awesome. Thank you. Actually, again, my name is Annette Nichols. And like you said, I live in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I've been here for like 25 years.
Mhm.
I was born in, I'm a little country girl. I was born in Lincoln, North Carolina, and raised in Shelby, North Carolina. So I end
Gotcha.
up here. And I am the sixth child of the family.
Mhm.
And actually, I've been married 22 years,
Awesome.
and I have
Awesome.
three grown children with
Mhm.
seven grandchildren.
Wow. What are the ages of your children right now?
Actually, my oldest kid, he is 35. I
Oh
have a
man.
daughter who is 34, and I have
Wow.
a son that's 33. So,
Man,
yeah,
so they're right behind each other.
yes,
Well, that had to be kind of cool to kind of like, you didn't have like a
exactly.
wide gap,
Exactly.
So that's awesome.
Exactly.
But
It made it a little
congratulations.
bit easier. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like I said, congratulations on that whole thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm executive director at a retirement facility and also on my own business called Butterflies Touch,
Mhm,
which is dealing with diabetics and diabetes caregivers.
mhm,
And I'm also a diabetic myself over 20 years.
mhm,
So I know the daily struggle that they
mhm.
face.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, that's something that you're coming from a perspective and a place of knowledge and a place of like this is I've walked the walk.
Mhm.
And so the question I do want to start out with
Okay.
is, like I said, we've been having this discussion about diabetes, for quite a long time. And my thing is diabetes in this country, is it getting better or is it getting worse? Or yeah.
Mm. On my researches and what I observe, it is getting worse.
Wow. And
It's
why?
actually
And yeah, please do tell me why. I want to
okay.
know.
All right. Thank you. Because
Yeah.
actually, it was predicted that they were saying that between 2015 to 2035 is going to grow tremendously. And we are
Mm.
talking about numbers from like 37.5 million to actually
Wow.
45 million. So you
Ooh.
are looking at where it's still gonna, this is what's 2022. Think about 2035, what it's going to be. And that's a scary number,
That is a scary number.
a very scary number. It's not getting better. And I think one of the reasons because of our healthcare system.
Hmm.
A lot of people cannot afford healthcare.
Mm.
And a lot of people that does don't get the same treatment sometimes because I remember when I first became a diabetic, the doctor didn't take the test that it needed to be done to find out I was a
Hmm.
diabetic until later
Mm.
on. So there's a
Mm.
lot of people walking around here who's undiagnosed
Mm.
because the doctor didn't take the right steps to get diagnosed, and that's
That's
really sad.
scary.
It
And
is.
and so if we can explore a little bit about
Mhm.
why do you think that it's going to get worse?
It's going to get.
What is it? Like you said, I know the healthcare
Mhm.
system,
Yeah,
but are there any things in our daily
yeah,
lives that
yeah.
would
Mhm.
kind of like tell that?
Educate. We're not educated, and some of us
Okay.
don't want to be educated on it. We need to sit
Okay.
down and figure out what are we doing to our own bodies because we're
Mm.
sitting around going by taste instead of saying I need to eat this, I need to do that. Even exercise, we don't even walk
Mhm.
like we used to. A lot of
Mhm.
people we used to walk everywhere. Not
Right.
everybody want a ride somewhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not only that, we want to eat, play the video games, or take a nap after we get through eating.
Wow. Wow.
But I noticed too, a lot of people when they go to like Golden Corral, they
Mhm.
think
Oh
I'm
boy.
gonna eat my money worth. I'm gonna go get two or three plates of anything I see
Yeah.
out there to
Yeah.
eat. So we're
Yeah.
not being educated in ourselves of what we need to eat, and we're not willing to do those things. So that's why it's going to increase. Mhm.
So for those that don't know what Golden Corral is, let me kind of like share with you. All right. So Golden Corral is, and this is not, breaking down Golden Corral and
Golden
the meaning of
Corral.
Golden Corral, but it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and so you can, of course, go up as many times as you want for like maybe 14, 15, $16 or something like that. I don't know, but you can go up as many times as you want, and that span of food ranges anywhere between your salads to your dessert. And once again, like you said, and that people are
Mhm.
going to feel as though if it's $16, knowing that they don't normally eat $16 worth of food, they feel as though they're going to get their money's worth. And I've been there. I remember a couple of years ago. Actually, no, it's about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I went there, my wife and I, and we looked at one of the tables that just a couple, they were sitting at. And the table, normal sized table, but the whole table was filled with plate and food, and it was
Yeah.
stacked high,
Yes.
stacked
Yes.
high. And we were just looking at that. We were like, what in the world? But that's going to and can potentially lead to health issues such as diabetes, of course, obesity. That can be the foundation that leads to diabetes, or diabetes leading to whichever one, the egg before the chicken on that one. But like I said, that's the environment that that place has. All you can eat buffet. And we have, I don't know if Golden Corral is in, other parts of the country or the world or what have you, but we all know the all you can eat buffet types of settings where, like you say, get your money's worth and eat as much as you can eat in one sitting. And yeah,
but it takes self-discipline, because actually me and my husband just left this morning from Golden Corral.
right,
We had
right,
breakfast there, but
right.
it's all in your control. It's not the person that's serving, it's your control that you need to have in line, because they're gonna keep feeding it
so,
to you.
so how does that happen? How do you end up just, but I think that's really what you just said is so key when you talk about self-control. And I think that's where we lose it. We think it's a free for all. And just once again, you want all you can eat just because the sign says, it doesn't
Yeah,
mean that, you have to.
exactly. And we're a product of our own environment. If you
Mhm.
came out of the generation where whatever somebody put in front of you in your plate, you had to eat all of it or you don't go to bed. And
That
so we
was,
still
yeah,
got that in our minds.
yeah, yeah,
If I put on
yeah.
my plate, I got to eat it all.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it
trying
was
to
like,
lick the plate.
yeah, it was that with me as a kid. You don't throw that away.
Exactly.
You definitely don't throw it away, and you eat everything on your plate.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that is so true. You're talking about from a type of a thing that was imprinted on us as as kids. And you and I being from pretty much the same area with regards to North Carolina, we grew up with the southern types of households where, once again, like you said, you eat everything on your plate. Now, when we were younger, we did have the outdoors to kind of like play and that thing. And I can only imagine, like, you going back to the first what you said with diabetes potentially getting worse as the years move on. I can imagine that the diabetes or the younger population is going to be in danger of diabetes as we move further down the road.
Exactly. And I even
Yeah,
think, not only at home, but also when they go to schools to eat those meals, or is it catered to the health? Or they give them apples and whatever they eat,
yeah,
or they say give them all this pizza, give them all this cake, or whatever
yeah,
it is. It have to be all the way around. You got to be in an environment where everybody's looking out for your health. But more than
yeah.
anything, as long as you're looking out for your health.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It does come out to a personal responsibility. Now, you had mentioned something, with regards to people not even realizing and knowing that they might even be diabetic. What are some of the warning signs that might determine or make you think that maybe I might be the pre-diabetic or what have you?
Okay. Okay. Really, there's no signs different, because you're
Mhm.
going to have increase in your thirst. You're going to be going to the bathroom, urinating more, and you have fatigue. And that's on both sides, being a pre-diabetic and a diabetic. The main thing that causes between a diabetic and a pre-diabetic is the numbers. When they go to the
Okay.
doctor in 3 months to get their A1C check with the hormones in your blood to let them know
Mhm.
how much sugar is being used up in your body. So in
Mhm.
other words, if you normal, it's going to be like 5.7.
Okay.
But if you pre-diabetic, it's 5.7 and up to 6.4.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
But if you
Gotcha.
are a diabetic, it is 6.5 and up.
Oh,
So it's so
gotcha.
close. It's like a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
thin line. A
Yeah.
lot of time doctor would say, okay, I'm gonna give you 3 months before you take your next A1C to see if you get that down. They may try
Hmm.
it a couple of times, but the next time you go and that number has, moved just a little bit, you're gonna
Hmm.
get started on maybe something like metformin. That's usually the first medicine they put you on.
Right. Right.
So people saying, "Oh, I'm a pre-diabetic." I hear people say that for years, but they
Hmm.
just don't know their doctor's trying to be a little bit lenient with them to give them more
Hmm.
time before they start putting them on a medication, or they refuse to be on a medication.
Gotcha, gotcha. And so metformin is not something that you have to do for life, or just if you are diabetic, you pretty much have to be on it, I guess.
That's what that's what they'll tell you.
Okay,
They saying
gotcha.
once you start, you're on it for life. Or they saying, well, once you start on metformin, the next thing is insulin. That is not
Mhm.
true. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not a doctor, okay, but
Yeah.
I am someone that experienced that
Right.
anybody can diabetes can be reversed
Yeah.
from that metformin and stuff like that, because they realizing too a lot of the medication and insulin is causing a lot of health issues right along with the diabetes.
That's what I was getting to also, because I was wondering if there were any issues, what kind of, like,
Mhm,
side
mhm.
effects
Okay, and
might
I
happen
was on
from it.
med. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Mhm.
No, no, that's fine.
I was on metformin, and
Mhm.
within a year, I had fatty tissue growing into my liver
Wow.
from taking metformin. And they was like, well, we don't have that much other stuff we can get you to. We can get you on glyphosate and other medicine, but we got to worry about the side effects. And I
Yeah.
said, my liver didn't have fatty in it. Now, if I was a drinker, that's a different story. But
Right.
that metformin, wasn't drinking. That metformin within a year put fatty in my liver.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So
Isn't
you
that
got
interesting?
it's scary, because what
Yeah.
if somebody don't go to the doctor after they, because some people don't go to the doctor. Once they get their meds, they stick to it. And they
Hmm.
don't go ask questions, they don't go get the test done like they need to. They realize that it could have did more damage to my body if I kept on taking it and kept going.
Especially the
Well,
liver too.
exactly,
I mean, the
exactly.
liver is like the filter of your whole system.
Yeah, yeah,
And if your
yeah.
liver is not functioning properly or is clogged up,
That's right. That's right.
then that's going to end up potentially lead to other health conditions. And
Yes.
that's just one of the things that, no, it just bothers me when it comes to
Mhm, mhm.
traditional medicine,
Right.
because our natural approaches are pretty much not focused on, or
Exactly.
just eliminated altogether.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so, but like you said earlier, there is personal responsibility. So if you do, or if you are in that status of, diabetic at this point in time, you
Mhm.
have to take a more proactive approach
You
and
do.
take control of your own health. So that means diet, that means exercise,
Mhm, mhm,
all of those things, in
mhm,
which
mhm.
you have pretty much, and this is what you're educating people about now.
That's it. That's it.
And
And it's really sad how people we're losing from
yeah.
the complication from diabetes, because
Mm,
they want an easy way out. We want a quick
hmm.
fix. It's not a quick fix.
Right.
You didn't get where you got by a quick
Overnight.
fix.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
took some time till you get here.
yeah,
You didn't know,
yeah,
you wasn't aware of it, but you here now.
yeah,
And it's not the end of the road. It's just that people can say, you know what, I need to start where I'm at. I might
yeah,
not be like Joe Blow who's running 5 miles a day, but I can start just moving my arms, doing sit
yeah,
aside, doing
yeah.
something. That means a
Something,
lot. Something.
something. The body was meant to move, and it wasn't meant to be in a sick state either.
Exactly.
And all.
Exactly.
And so, what are some do's and don'ts if
Mhm,
you are diabetic? Because
mhm.
we that's something that I think people really kind of need to know.
Right. Mhm.
So yeah, share with
Okay.
us what
Okay.
some do's and
Okay.
don'ts.
First of all, keep an open mind.
Hmm.
Don't close and say, well, no, my grandma had it. I'm gonna have to die this way. No.
Hmm.
Oh, have an open mind, go get educated. You
Yeah.
can go to your local hospital, your local clinic, say, listen, I need some help on education on diabetes. Get out here
Hmm.
and look at some of these um, podcasts. Somebody just listen. I said to jump on the first train that come by, but
Hmm.
take time to listen and listen to your body,
Yeah.
because your body is talking. Sometimes we just don't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I'm saying like, if you took that medicine 2 days ago, you don't feel good, might be something with that medicine is a rejection.
Right. Right.
But we say, now my doctor told me I gotta take it, and I'm gonna keep taking. Go talk to your doctor. Say, I need some help. I need some
Hmm.
help.
Hmm.
Um, Back to the beginning, like I was saying, because I'm an educator, is because of my family and myself. We having
Hmm.
a lot of complications going on. I lost my brother in 2013 because he refused to change. It was out of control. It was out of control. And pretty much all of my family members now are diabetic, who's having bad condition. Like my sister, she get ready to go on dialysis. They just put
Wow.
the port in her arm where she's getting ready to go on dialysis. I have a sister who have 20% of her heart only working. I have a brother who have a part of a pancreas, but also he have a colostomy bag. He got a lot of issues going on. My
Jeez.
father died when he was 63 from complication from diabetes. My mother died when she was 39 from an aneurysm. But you know, aneurysm, hearts, and all that could have been from diabetes.
Mhm.
But I was just 9 years old, so I don't know if she was a diabetic or not. But that's what she died of.
Yeah.
So everybody in my family, nobody in my family have not lived outlived 63 years,
Jesus.
and it's because of the heart disease and diabetes.
Wow. Wow.
And so
Wow.
that's what made me realize somebody got to be a cycle breaker.
Yeah. True. True.
And you know, I have made myself the one to do it. I am a cycle breaker. So that's why I went on to Butterfly's Touch, where I want to educate people. But
Right.
you got to realize you're going to have to be open-hearted, open-minded, and you got to
Mhm.
be willing to love yourself. Because even though
Mm.
somebody telling you these things, you got to say, okay, I got to get started now, wherever I'm at. I don't care if you're an amputee. I don't care if you're laying in the bed. You still can move.
Mhm.
There's always something for you to do. I told people you can do the simple things like pick up a roll of toilet tissue off the floor continuously. That is a
Mhm.
workout too in itself.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
You might can't get out and run down the street. That's fine. But start where you are at. But be willing to be educated, get on these websites, do whatever you have to do to learn what you need to do.
And the thing is that I wrote an ebook
Okay.
years ago called "Who Needs the Gym," and
Oh,
what that was really demonstrating is that you don't need a gym in order to achieve a fitness result. And
exactly.
you don't. Of course, now that we're moving into the fall and winter months, so going outdoors is not as convenient for a lot of people if you don't like cooler weather or cold
Right,
weather.
right, right.
But there are gyms out there that are $10,
Exactly.
a month.
Exactly.
And if $10, we spend
$10.
more on
A
in
hamburger.
one night, yeah, at a hamburger spot than we do. And so if one time out of the week, you know,
Mhm,
build it up 2 times, start somewhere where you're at, like you
mhm,
say,
mhm,
that's something. So what about the whole, the diet part that you witness in your family?
mhm.
We've spoken about it a little bit,
Right. Mhm,
but since you are the cycle breaker in your
mhm,
family,
mhm.
what dietary changes have you and are you or did you make in
Okay.
your journey?
Okay, like you're saying, been in North Carolina, we love that Southern style food. We
Hmm.
want all the grease you can give me and all the fat you can give me. I had to get to the part where I started hating certain things
Wow.
because I used to love fat back meat. Oh, I could eat a
Oh yeah.
handful of fat back meat. But when I realized I was going to the hospital every time I was eating this stuff, so I
Mm.
said, why am I doing this to myself? So I
Hmm.
had to sit down and look at, okay, what am I willing to sacrifice? My life or this food?
Mm.
And so I do not eat anything fried. If I do, it may be like a piece of fish just that
Hmm.
one day and that's it. But most of the stuff is baked or grilled.
Hmm.
And sugars.
Oh yeah.
I right now is not on any sugars. Not on
Okay.
any
Okay.
sugars. I made my mind up. No, we're gonna get control. We are going to
Yeah.
get control. And one of my weak spot was chocolate at first. And then I
Oh
stopped
yeah.
eating chocolate for years now. But now I don't eat no sugars. I'm ready to
Okay.
go towards no preservatives.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
if I'm going to talk the talk, I need to walk the walk.
You walk the walk.
And yeah, so it's just
Yeah.
making my mind up, getting rid of stuff that's not like my body.
Well, and I think that's because, as we were speaking earlier, our daily diet is so high in um, processed foods. That's a large part of our daily diet, processed foods, whether it's, we wake up in the morning and, we eat something out of a box. And this is not to knock all boxed products, but, the more natural your food, the better. Let's be honest. And even in the natural states now, because of, the GMO and things of that nature, we're not getting the foods it's not what it used to be years ago when
True,
we had our own community gardens, so to speak.
true.
My great grandmother had a garden.
Yeah, yeah.
But now we go to the grocery stores, we go to the farmers markets
Mhm.
and things like that. And at the same time, too, I think we've gotten caught up in the mindset that healthy is expensive.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, And if you think it's expensive, try being unhealthy.
Exactly. Exactly. All them co-pays, yes.
Yeah. So you have, choose your expense here.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether it's going to be on the unhealthy side of the expense or the healthy side of the expense. And I guarantee you that if you choose the healthier side, then it would be less expensive on the other side. As my wife says, it's either going to be the farmer or the pharma, meaning
Oh,
the farmer or PHARMA, pharma,
okay. Mm-hmm.
meaning the pharmaceutical rep or the
Mm-hmm.
pharmaceutical or the pharmacist.
Yeah.
So choose the farmer, everyone.
But
And
like you were
this,
saying,
yeah,
even when it comes to the gyms, I mean, they got programs that people, they got Medicaid and Medicare, they can go to silver sneakers and stuff like that. So
silver
that
sneakers.
still is no excuse. You know?
You're right. And I'm so proud of my mom, because she has taken total advantage of those programs at the Y. And, and not only that, you create a social network, so of course, the silver sneakers is for, people that are, I guess, Medicaid and things of that nature. And so you might be of the older population, but that's totally fine because in that whole environment, there are people that are like you.
Yes.
There are people that are your age, and
Yes.
so and that works out just perfectly for her, and she enjoys going that because she gets to gossip, she gets to in the water, so she gets all those little treats, and she comes home and she's got her exercise in for the day, and it's fun. She's
That's
made
right.
it fun,
That's
and
right.
so
And
you're right about that.
with the age, there are people that's younger going too because they disabled. So if you
And that's
disabled
why,
in that
yeah,
age,
exactly.
and a lot of time when they're older, they can outwalk you because I go down to this track. And this woman got to be about 90 years old and she smoked
Yeah,
me
yeah.
every time. I'm like, wow,
He's laughing at you,
she's
huh?
behind me again.
Say, okay, that's hilarious. But you're right about that. So
Yes.
Annette, tell us a
Mhm.
little bit about, your app, because that's one of the things that I, when I saw, when I came across your profile, you
Mhm.
have an app that works with that diabetic population.
That is
So tell us about your app, the features, the
sure.
benefits, and how to gain access to it.
Sure. Mhm. Actually, again, like I said, but my company name is Butterflies Touch. I love butterfly. You see that now.
Yeah, that
Um,
we got.
but with this app, I made it really easy for anybody to understand because I was kind of catered towards my brother who, even though
Mhm,
he was in his 50s when he died, he could not
mhm.
read. And
Yeah.
so that's what opened my eyes. You know what? There's nothing out here for people that cannot read when it comes to
Mm,
diabetes information. You go to your
mhm.
doctor's office, they're not going to ask you, can you read? They're going to
Yeah.
give you information, assume that you understand what you're talking about, and you're going about your business, even
Mhm,
though it may
mhm,
end up on the pile with the junk mail. So
mhm,
in this
mhm.
app, once you get into this app, you are going to be able to register by your phone number and
Mhm.
not by
Okay.
your email because a lot of people that cannot read know numbers, but they don't know the words.
Interesting.
So once they get into it, you're gonna have access where you can put your sugar number. Even if you got one of those sensor, you can take that number and plug it into the app. It's
Yeah.
gonna tally it up for you, and there's gonna be at the end a thumbs up, a thumbs down. You're not
Wow.
doing so well, and then a educational video pop up and say,
Mhm.
"This is what's going on with your body at this time. If you stay on this, your A1C is gonna be da da da."
Gotcha.
So it let you
Awesome.
know before you go to your doctor of what it's going to be. Also,
Gotcha.
there's recipes out there, healthy recipes that people can log on to and be able to make a wonderful meal
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
knowing that it's going to be healthy for you and your family.
Gotcha.
So it's,
Awesome.
and also you can get this app at butterfliestouch.com, butterfliestouch.com, or you can go
Awesome.
to the app.butterfliestouch.com.
Awesome. We'll definitely be putting that on the blog site and all of that information. People do reach out to her because,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, she knows where you are because she's there and been there and she's
Mhm.
walked that walk,
Yeah.
and so she knows how to navigate through this,
Mhm.
and that's important too. That's important. I've never have dealt with diabetes,
Mhm.
and my mom has,
Mhm.
and I've had some my granddad, um he was diabetic, and I know that he had to get his leg amputated because of the
Mm,
complications from it. So I've seen the effects or the impact of
mhm,
diabetes, but like I said, I don't know what it's like to live with it.
mm,
And so this woman is out there for us, and she's out there helping. And so you have an event coming up, I noticed also,
yes,
that's online too, right? So that's
that
going to
is
be
correct.
good. I'm so glad. Is it going to be recorded? Do you know?
I am not sure about that because I know it's a free event. Anybody
Right.
can, they just want them to register on Eventbrite, and you get your ticket or whatever and be able to log on. It's going to be October the 17th. And it is them nominating diabetes with a live panel discussion. So
Mm-hmm.
please join in as from 7 until 8:30 p.m. on October the 17th.
Gotcha. And what time is it again? 7 to 8:30,
It's
you
from
said?
7 until 8:30
Yeah.
p.m.
I,
Eastern time.
I know that I will be at an event that evening, and so if it is recorded, I hopefully I
Okay.
can definitely catch it, or if not another time, But thank you so much for being out there in the trenches, doing your thing, and helping. So, what's in the future for your company?
Okay.
Butterflies and all that stuff. Where
Okay.
you guys trying
Um,
to take this?
and again, thank you so much for having me and giving me an
Yeah.
opportunity to tell everybody that my future goal is going to be is in Hispanic.
Okay.
I'm reaching out to that community, different languages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be
Mm-hmm.
reaching out to people who need sign language. And also
Wow.
I'm reaching out to people that have no sight at all, the blind
Gotcha.
community, because
Wow.
everybody need to have an opportunity and a chance to be
Hmm.
educated and have a better outcome with this diabetes.
Anything that we can do to help,
Sure.
please let us know,
Sure. Thank
because
you.
I think that is such an awesome thing that you're doing to reach out to those communities that we don't normally think about.
Exactly.
And I'm just thinking, I'll say, wait a minute, that is so, yeah, the blind community, you know,
Mhm.
because we all deal with or challenge with health issues, and diabetes probably being one. And if that number, if it's going to get, if it's potentially going to get worse,
Mhm.
then that's going to affect not just the Black community, not just the white community. It's
Exactly.
going to it's going to affect all communities, whether you are Black, white, Hispanic, but
Exactly.
also if you are blind or you're deaf or what have you. All of everyone's potentially impacted by this. So, but we can be in a proactive state to prevent,
True. So
or
true.
to get through this thing healthy, as best as we can, to navigate through diabetes as best as we can, so we don't make things worse.
Exactly. And like you saying, hitting all communities because we all have a handicap somewhere.
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
just need we need for the right person to come to us to help
yeah,
us. And I think hitting those community is letting people know diabetes is not prejudice.
yeah, yeah. It doesn't
Diabetes is
care.
unlimited by income status. But
Yeah.
just because you are diagnosed with it is not a destination. And so that's what
Oh
we're trying to
man,
prove.
love that, love that, love that, love that. Annette, thanks.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for
And
all your time and
I,
inviting me.
I appreciate your efforts, and I appreciate you being out there. Like I said, in the trenches. And I always say that because yes, you're out there in the trenches,
Yeah,
and you're not, you know, somebody that's trying to just gain a buck. You're
correct.
trying to really, really
Correct.
create impact. And I
Yes.
appreciate that. And I
Yes.
appreciate you for that. So
Thank
we're
you.
right down the road from each other
Okay.
and all. And so one of these days we'll have to connect and have some healthy and sometimes maybe even some unhealthy. This is and I say that, and this is why I say
Yes.
that. Because this is not about never eating the things you really enjoy
There
eating
you go.
again.
There you
Not at
go.
all. We're getting ready to go out. I'm going to take my parents out to, and I think I spoke to you about it. We're going to take them to a seafood restaurant and in Lawrenceburg, North Carolina. This place has the best seafood casserole. Okay. And if you know about casseroles, it's not. But at the same time too, it's not about, it's about, I'm a real big believer in 80-20, at minimum, you do 80% of the right things, and then you enjoy yourself. Okay. You enjoy yourself. You stay active, you eat healthy, and then at the same time, you have that dessert,
Right.
But like you said earlier, it's about education too.
That's right.
So,
Moderation. I mean,
moderation.
we are here to enjoy life. We don't want to go around and say, well, I can't have but bread and water. No, we want you to enjoy life. Because if you don't take care of that craving, it's going to come out somewhere else. And
It's
it's
gonna
going
come
to
out.
be out of
Wow.
control.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Well, on that note, that's a mic drop there. I will say it will, it will come out somewhere else.
Yes.
So, but like I said, and thank you so much for your time this afternoon. And I look forward to connecting with you and staying in conversation with you. Okay.
Thank you so much. And you have a
Alrighty.
wonderful meal.
Yes, I will definitely do that. So, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us once again on another episode of Living Your Best Life. And reach out to this young lady if you are struggling with diabetes, or if you know someone that is struggling with diabetes. Like I said, she's one of the people that are out here. She's walking the walk, and that whole thing. So she knows where you are. She knows where you've been. And so she's out here once again in the trenches helping you. So reach out to her. Okay. So like I said, everybody, thank you once again for hanging out with us. And I'll catch you on the next episode of Living Your Best Life. You guys take care. Bye-bye.